Deep within the red dust storms of Mars, humanity's greatest secret stirred to life. The massive underground facility, hidden for 50 years beneath the surface of Olympus Mons, hummed with power as its massive doors slowly opened for the first time. Captain James Walker stood at the command center's main window, watching as robotic arms attached the final armor plates to the U.S. Retribution. The warship was beautiful in a dangerous way, 3 miles long, with smooth black surfaces that seemed to drink in the light. No weapons were visible on its surface, but Walker knew better. The entire ship was a weapon. "Final systems check complete, Captain," reported Core, the ship's artificial intelligence. Its voice was calm and clear, neither male nor female, but somehow comforting. "All quantum systems are operating at peak efficiency." Walker nodded, his gray eyes reflecting the red emergency lights that filled the command center. At 55 years old, he was older than most active captains, but there was no one else with his experience. He had helped design this ship after all. "Show me Earth Command," he ordered, and the main screen lit up with the face of General White. The old general looked tired, his face lined with worry. "Captain Walker, the situation has gotten worse," White said without greeting. "The Dominion fleet has doubled in size. 20,000 warships now surround Earth. Their ultimatum remains the same: surrender humanity's independence within 24 hours or face extinction." Walker's hands tightened into fists. "They still don't suspect anything." "No. Our act of being a primitive species has fooled them completely. They think we're still using rocket technology and basic AI." White managed a small smile. "They have no idea what's about to hit them." The general's image was replaced by footage from orbit. Massive alien ships hung in space around Earth. Angular, crystalline structures that glowed with purple energy. They were beautiful and terrifying, each one capable of destroying a continent. Walker turned to look at his crew. They were the best Earth had to offer. Just 50 people to run a ship that could have housed thousands. But with Core's help, that was all they needed. "Core, show me the weapon systems," Walker ordered. Holographic displays filled the air around him. The Retribution's outer skin was actually billions of quantum-locked particles, able to shift between different states of matter at will. Its hull could become harder than any known material, or simply let enemy fire pass through harmlessly. The main guns were reality-bending machines that could tear holes in space itself. But the ship's greatest weapon was its power source. It contained singularity, a black hole the size of a coin, eternally feeding energy into the ship's systems. "Captain," Core interrupted his thoughts, "I'm detecting a transmission from the Dominion fleet. They're broadcasting on all frequencies." "Put it through." A deep, resonating voice filled the command center. "People of Earth, your time grows short. We have watched your species for centuries. You are too dangerous, too unpredictable to be allowed free rein in the galaxy. Submit to Dominion control, and you will be protected. Resist, and we will be forced to cleanse your world." Walker looked at his crew. Engineer Pete stood at his station, hands steady on the controls. Dr. Anna checked her medical readings one last time. Lieutenant Robert kept his eyes on the tactical display. They were ready. "Send a message to Earth Command," Walker ordered. "Tell them Operation Phoenix is starting." The massive doors above the facility opened fully, revealing the red Martian sky. The Retribution rose silently, its black surface reflecting nothing, absorbing everything. 50 years of secret human advancement was about to reveal itself to the galaxy. "Core, activate the mass shift drive," Walker commanded. "Let's show the Dominion why they should have left Earth alone." The great ship rose higher, picking up speed. Soon it would reach the Dominion fleet. Soon they would learn that humanity's apparent primitive state had been a lie. Soon they would learn why humans were feared across ancient galaxies. The last resort was now humanity's first strike. The Dominion fleet hung in space like a wall of gleaming purple crystals. 20,000 ships, each one larger than Earth's tallest buildings, created a net around the solar system. Their formation was perfect. No ship could pass through without being detected. Or so they thought. On the bridge of the Retribution, Captain Walker watched the enemy fleet grow larger on the main screen. Core, status of the mass shift drive. Operating at full capacity, Captain. The AI responded. Mass shift field is stable. We are currently running at 0.001% normal mass. Engineer Pete looked up from his station, a smile on his face. They can't see us, sir. Their sensors are passing right through us like we're not even here. The Retribution moved silently through space, its black hull now truly invisible to all known forms of detection. The ship wasn't cloaked. It was simply so light that it barely existed in normal space. On the enemy flagship, Dominion High Commander Voss stood proud and tall. His crystalline armor glowed with power as he watched Earth through the viewport. Status of the human planet. No change, Commander, his officer reported. They continue to broadcast pleas for mercy. Their primitive satellites still orbit their world. No sign of any military response. Voss made a sound of satisfaction. As expected, they err. Commander, another officer interrupted, voice sharp with alarm. Temperature spike detected in Sector 7. Energy readings off the scale. The Retribution chose that moment to shift back to normal mass. The massive black ship appeared in the middle of the Dominion fleet, its hull drinking in the purple light of the alien vessels. Impossible, Voss roared. All ships, open fire. 10,000 energy beams struck the Retribution at once. The black hull lit up with absorbed power, but showed no damage. Inside, the crew remained calm at their stations. Energy absorption at 300% capacity, Core reported. Shall I begin power conversion? Walker nodded. Show them what we can do with their own weapons, Core. The Retribution's hull began to pulse with purple light. The same energy the Dominion ships had fired. But now it was changed, enhanced by human technology. The ship released it in a single massive burst. 50 Dominion ships simply ceased to exist, their matter converted to pure energy. Mass shift drive recharge, Core announced. Ready for another jump. Walker looked at his tactical display. The enemy fleet was breaking formation, trying to surround them. Lieutenant Robert, plot us a course through their heaviest concentration. Let's show them nowhere is safe. The Retribution phased through space again, becoming almost weightless. It passed through solid Dominion ships like a ghost, its presence causing their crystal hulls to crack and shatter. They're panicking, sir, Anna reported from her medical station, where she monitored the alien life signs. Their biosignatures are showing extreme stress. They've never seen anything like this. On his flagship, Voss was indeed panicking. Contact High Command. Tell them we need the World Breaker fleet. The humans. They've been hiding their true power. The Retribution appeared again, this time behind the Dominion command ships. Its hull was drinking in energy from 100 different weapons, growing stronger with each attack. Sir, Pete called out, we're learning from their weapons. Each hit is teaching us more about their technology. Core is adapting our systems in real time. Walker allowed himself a small smile. Send a message to all Dominion ships, text only. Words appeared on every alien screen in their own language. You should have asked nicely. Now learn why humanity was left alone for so long. The Retribution's next attack split the Dominion fleet in half. Not by destroying ships, but by creating a temporary hole in space itself. Alien vessels tumbled helplessly through the void, their perfect formation shattered. The blockade is broken, Captain, Core reported. Shall we pursue? Walker looked at the tactical display. The Dominion ships were retreating, their neat formations dissolved into chaos. But he knew this was just the beginning. Follow them, he ordered. They're running to their fortress worlds. Time to show the galaxy that nowhere is safe from humanity's reach. The great black ship accelerated, leaving Sol system behind. The hunt was on. Deep in Dominion space, alarms rang through a massive space station. The World Breaker fleet, pride of the alien empire, was preparing for battle. 500 ships, each one 3 times larger than normal Dominion vessels, powered up their crystal drives. Admiral Thomas Price watched this from the Retribution's long-range sensors. He had arrived on the bridge via quantum teleporter just hours ago, bringing new orders from Earth Command. "Their world-breaker ships are different," Price said, pointing to the sensor readings. "Look at those energy signatures." Captain Walker nodded. The alien ships glowed not with the usual purple energy, but with deep red light that hurt the eyes. Core analysis. "The world-breaker fleet appears to use artificial stars as power sources," the AI responded. "Each ship contains a miniature sun. Their weapon capacity is concerning." Engineer Pete whistled from his station. "Good thing we've got a few tricks they haven't seen yet." The Admiral turned to Walker. "Show me the shield modifications." A hologram appeared, showing the Retribution's outer hull. After absorbing so much Dominion weapons fire, the ship's quantum systems had learned and evolved. The black surface now rippled with tiny patterns, like water in moonlight. "We don't just absorb their attacks anymore," Walker explained. "We adapt to them. Every hit makes us stronger." The first wave of world-breaker ships appeared out of faster-than-light travel. They were enormous, shaped like red crystal arrowheads. Energy gathered at their tips, building to levels that could crack planets. "All hands, battle stations," Walker ordered calmly. "Core, activate the new shield configuration." The first blast from a world-breaker ship hit the Retribution with the force of a supernova. Space itself bent around the impact. For a moment, the black ship was hidden in a ball of red fire. But when the light faded, the Retribution was unchanged. "Shield absorption at 1,000% capacity," Core announced. "The enemy's weapon has taught us how to contain star-level energy. Should I begin the conversion process?" "Do it," Walker commanded. "Admiral, would you like to demonstrate why Earth chose this particular moment to reveal ourselves?" Price smiled. "Core, activate the star matter cannon." The Retribution's hull opened in 1,000 places, revealing a network of crystalline structures similar to the Dominion's technology. But these were black, and they pulsed with combined purple and red energy. Fire. A beam of pure starlight, contained and focused by human engineering, shot across space. It struck the Lid world-breaker ship. Instead of exploding, the massive vessel simply transformed. Its entire structure converted into pure energy, which the Retribution immediately absorbed. By the void, a Dominion commander's transmission cut through all channels. "They'd weaponized our own technology. All ships, maintain distance. Do not let them." The Retribution phased through space, appearing inside the world-breaker formation. Its hull was now glowing with 3 different energy types: the purple of standard Dominion weapons, the red of their star drives, and a new blue light that seemed to bend reality around it. "Their entire fleet is moving to surround us," Lieutenant Robert reported. "They're trying to trap us in a gravity web." Walker looked at Admiral Price, who nodded. "Show them the phase drive's full capability." The Retribution didn't just turn nearly massless this time. It split into 10 perfect copies, each one as solid and deadly as the original. The Dominion fleet froze in confusion. "Quantum superposition complete," Core announced. "All copies are combat-capable. The enemy cannot determine which ship is real because, technically, they all are." The 10 Retributions attacked as one. Space filled with light as star matter cannons fired from multiple directions. More world-breaker ships transformed into pure energy, feeding the human vessel's ever-growing power. "They're retreating toward the Perseus Arm," Anna reported from her station. "Wait, I'm picking up strange transmissions. They're calling us." "The awakened ones." Admiral Price's expression turned serious. "Follow them. It's time we learned why the Dominion fears humanity so much. Core, prepare for long-range pursuit. The real chase is about to begin." The Retribution merged back into a single ship, its hull now rippling with power stolen from the galaxy's greatest fleet. The hunt would continue deeper into Dominion space, toward answers that had been hidden for millennia. And the galaxy would continue to learn why humanity had been left alone for so long. The Retribution dropped out of light speed near the edge of the Perseus Arm. Before them floated a sight that made even the experienced crew pause. 3 artificial planets, positioned in a perfect triangle, each one covered in crystal towers that reached into space. Dominion fortress worlds, Admiral Price said quietly, each one capable of destroying entire fleets. No one has ever breached even one of them. Captain Walker studied the tactical display. Streams of data from core showed weapon emplacements, shield generators, and power readings that went off the scale. The space between the fortresses was filled with floating mines, each one containing enough power to vaporize a small moon. Core, what are we looking at? Walker asked. The fortresses are linked, the AI responded. They share power and can fire as one. Their main weapon, Core paused, unusual for an AI. Their main weapon can erase time itself within its target area. Engineer Pete looked up from his station. Erase time. How is that possible? They create a bubble where time simply stops, Admiral Price explained. Anything caught inside exists forever in a single moment. That's why no fleet has ever survived. You can't fight if you're frozen in time. The fortress worlds began to glow. Enormous crystals on their surfaces lit up one by one, power flowing between them in visible streams of energy. A message boomed across all channels. Into years. UAKVENTER domain of Futuristic Adventures. Retreat, or BERASED from time, AT-self. Walker smiled. Core, activate the temporal displacement drive. The Retribution's hull changed. The black surface developed new patterns, like flowing water made of darkness. The crew felt a strange sensation, as if they were existing in several moments at once. Temporal displacement active, Core announced. We now exist between seconds. Their time-stop weapon cannot affect what isn't fully in time. The fortress worlds fired. A massive beam of white light shot from each one, meeting in the center of their triangle formation. The combined beam headed straight for the Retribution. But the human ship was no longer there. Or rather, it was there, but also a second before and a second after. Amazing, Anna said from her station. We're seeing how their weapon works. It's not just stopping time, it's crushing it. Can we use that? Walker asked. Already adapting our systems, Core replied. Fortress weapon analysis complete, generating countermeasure. The Retribution appeared inside the triangle of fortresses. Its hull now rippled with white light along with the purple, red, and blue energies it had absorbed before. The ship was learning, growing stronger with each new weapon it encountered. Their defenses are shifting, Lieutenant Robert reported. They're trying to trap us in a temporal net. Let them try, Admiral Price said. Core, show them what we've learned about time. The Retribution fired. Not a beam or a bolt, but a wave of distorted space-time. Where it passed, the fortress world's defenses aged 1,000 years in an instant. Crystal towers crumbled to dust. Shield generators failed as centuries of wear happened in seconds. Impossible. The fortress commander's voice shook with fear. How are you doing this? What are you? Walker opened a channel. We are humanity. We didn't develop time weapons because we already knew how to master time itself. Your greatest defense is just the beginning of our understanding. The Retribution phased between moments again, appearing at different points in space simultaneously. Each copy fired at the fortress worlds, not to destroy them, but to disable them systematically. Then Engineer Pete noticed something strange. Captain, look at these readings from the fortress cores. That's human writing. Admiral Price nodded grimly. Now you know why I was sent here. These fortresses weren't built by the Dominion. They were built by ancient humans, stolen and modified. The crew fell silent as this revelation sank in. Their mission had just become more than a defense of Earth. This was about reclaiming humanity's lost legacy. Core, Walker commanded, download everything from their databases. It's time we learned who we really are. As the fortress worlds went dark one by one, their secrets began flowing into the Retribution's computers. The truth about humanity's past was finally coming to light, and the Dominion's greatest fear was being realized. Humanity wasn't just awakening, it was remembering. Engineer Maria Roberts stared at her screen in disbelief. The data from the fortress worlds flowed across her display like a waterfall of secrets. Her hands trembled as she decoded file after file. "Captain, Admiral, you need to see this now," she called out, her voice shaking. Captain Walker and Admiral Price moved to her station. The bridge of the Retribution was quiet except for the soft hum of its powerful engines. Through the main viewport, the disheveled fortress worlds floated like dead giants in space. "Those aren't just human letters we found," Maria explained. "They're coordinates, hundreds of them, pointing to different worlds across Dominion space. And each one," she paused, taking a deep breath, "each one is marked as a human colony world from over 100,000 years ago." Core displayed a galaxy map in the center of the bridge. Dots of light appeared, showing each coordinate. There were thousands of them, spanning every arm of the galaxy. "We weren't just on Earth," Admiral Price said quietly. "We ruled the stars themselves." Lieutenant Robert enhanced one of the coordinates. Images appeared showing ruins buried beneath Dominion cities, great machines made of black metal, similar to the Retribution's hull, and writing, human writing, telling stories of an empire that spanned the galaxy. "Core, translate the ancient text," Walker ordered. "Processing," the AI responded. "It appears to be a warning. It reads, 'To our descendants, if you find this, the sleep protocols have worked. We scattered humanity across 1,000 worlds, hiding our true nature even from ourselves. The enemy comes from between spaces. Only by appearing primitive can we survive until the time to awaken.'" The crew sat in stunned silence. Anna spoke first from her medical station. "We hid ourselves." "From what?" More images appeared, strange shapes that hurt the eyes to look at, beings that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once. The ancient text called them, simply, the Void Ones. "The Dominion knows," Maria said, reading more data. "They're not our enemies. They're our guardians. They've been watching over humanity, making sure we stayed hidden. But something changed. Something scared them enough to try to control us directly." Walker turned to Admiral Price. "You knew some of this, didn't you? That's why Earth built the Retribution in secret." Price nodded. "We found fragments of the truth during the Mars excavations, enough to know we needed to prepare. The Retribution isn't just a warship. It's a key to awakening humanity's buried potential." Core interrupted with new information. "Captain, I'm detecting massive energy surges from across Dominion space. The fortress worlds were connected to some kind of network. Our presence here has triggered something." On the tactical display, dots of light began appearing on human-inhabited worlds across the galaxy. Earth colonies, research stations, even small outposts. All were showing sudden spikes in energy readings. "They're remembering," Maria whispered. "Every human in the galaxy is starting to remember who we really are." Suddenly, a new transmission cut through all channels. The voice was deep, urgent, and came from the Dominion's Central Command. "A Titan Tyon human vessel. UAV TRIGDRED the AWAKENANGPROTOCOLS. Too soon. The Void Ones still BOUAT. They wail of Nano to IC. We must CONTIN." The transmission cut off as something massive appeared at the edge of their sensor range, a hole in space itself, leaking darkness and shapes that shouldn't exist. "Multiple contacts," Robert reported, his voice steady despite the fear. "Whatever's coming through that hole, they're bigger than anything we've seen." Walker looked at his crew, then at the Admiral. They all knew what this meant. The game of hide and seek was over. Humanity's greatest enemies had finally noticed them. Core, Walker commanded, prepare all systems. Send a message to Earth. The sleeper has awakened. Then set course for that hole in space. If humanity is truly awakening, then it's time to show these Void Ones why we were worth fearing in the first place. The Retribution's engines flared to life, its hull now glowing with all the energy and knowledge it had absorbed. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was ready to remember its true power. The Eternal Citadel floated in space like a crystal star. It was the Dominion's throne world, a planet-sized fortress that had never fallen in 10 million years. Its defenses made the fortress worlds look like toys in comparison. But the Retribution wasn't alone anymore. More ships appearing, Captain, Lieutenant Robert announced with pride. 50 human vessels, all awakening from hidden bases across the galaxy. They're all Retribution class. Through the main viewport, Walker watched as black ships emerged from hyperspace. Each one had been sleeping, waiting for this moment. Their crews, like his own, had just awakened to their true nature. The Void Ones are still coming through that hole in space, Anna reported. We have maybe 10 minutes before they arrive. The Dominion fleet is moving to help us. Indeed, the massive Dominion armada was forming up alongside the human ships. Their transmission came through clear and respectful. Awakened ones, we stand ready. Our watch is ended. We will help you face our ancient enemy. Admiral Price stepped forward. Captain, it's time for the final protocol. Core, initiate consciousness merge. Warning, Core announced. Consciousness merge will permanently join crew minds with ship systems. There is no reversal. Do all consent. Walker looked at his crew. Each one nodded without hesitation. They had trained for this their entire lives, even if they hadn't known it until now. We consent, Walker said. Begin merge. The bridge filled with soft blue light. Walker felt his mind expanding, touching the minds of his crew, then reaching into the ship itself. The Retribution wasn't just a vessel anymore. It was becoming a part of them. And they were becoming part of it. Through their merged consciousness, they could see everything. The quantum drives, the weapon systems, the very atoms of the ship's hull. All were now extensions of their combined will. Merge complete, Core announced, its voice now sounding like a chorus of all their voices together. Full awakening achieved. The Retribution changed. Its hull flowed like liquid metal, forming new patterns that glowed with inner light. The other human ships were doing the same, their crews awakening to their true potential. Then the Void Ones arrived. They came through the hole in reality like living nightmares. Massive shapes that hurt the mind to look at, beings that existed in 5 dimensions at once. Their very presence made normal space twist and warp. But Walker and his crew, now one with their ship, could see them clearly, could understand them, could fight them. All ships, Walker commanded, his voice carrying through space itself. Show them why humanity went into hiding. Not from fear, but to prepare. The Retribution moved like thought itself. It didn't just phase between moments of time. It danced between dimensions. The Void Ones tried to grasp it with tentacles of dark energy, but the ship was everywhere and nowhere at once. Through their merged consciousness, the crew felt the power of ages flow through them. Every weapon the ship had learned, every secret it had absorbed, all focused into one perfect moment of clarity. The Retribution fired. Reality itself bent around the blast. The Void Ones screamed in frequencies that shattered nearby stars. The human fleet moved as one, each ship attacking from a different dimension, their weapons powered by the combined consciousness of their crews. They're retreating, came the cry from another ship. The dimensional breach is closing. But victory had its price. The Eternal Citadel was breaking apart, its crystal structure unable to handle the energies being thrown around it. The Dominion's greatest fortress was falling. Save them, Walker commanded. The human fleet moved in perfect sync, their hulls extending to create safe zones for the evacuating Dominion citizens. In less than an hour, the battle was over. The Void Ones had fled back to their dimension. The Eternal Citadel was in ruins, and humanity had finally, truly awakened. Through the merged consciousness, Walker felt the truth crystallize. They hadn't hidden from the Void Ones out of fear. They had hidden to evolve, to become something new, something that could fight creatures from beyond space itself. The war wasn't over, but now, at last, humanity was ready to fight it. As one voice, the merged crews spoke. We remember, we are awake, and we will never hide again. The ruins of the Eternal Citadel drifted in space like scattered diamonds. Around it, 50 black ships hovered in perfect formation, their hulls rippling with dimensional energy. At their center, the Retribution glowed with power that could be seen from light years away. Inside each ship, humans and machines had become one. Their merged consciousness spanned the fleet, making them a single entity of unimaginable power. Captain Walker, still maintaining his individual identity within the merge, addressed the gathered Dominion leaders who had been saved from their falling fortress. For 100,000 years, you watched over us, he said, his voice carried through space itself. Now it's time you learned the whole truth. Through their merged minds, the crew shared images across all ships and to the Dominion vessels. They showed Earth, not as it was now, but as it had been 100,000 years ago. A world of wonders, where humans walked between dimensions and built ships that could reshape reality. We were not running from the Void Ones. Maria's voice joined Walker's, speaking from her merged state. We were preparing for their return. Each generation of humans was designed to evolve further, to become something new. Admiral Price's consciousness expanded the vision, showing the galaxy as it had been. Our ancestors knew the Void Ones would return stronger. Fighting them directly would have been impossible, so they created the greatest deception in galactic history. The images shifted, showing human scientists of the past deliberately fragmenting their civilization, seeding modified humans across thousands of worlds. The Dominion had been chosen as guardians, their own memories altered so they would protect humanity without knowing the full truth. Every human alive today, Anna's thoughts merged with the others, is the result of 100,000 years of careful evolution. Each generation slightly stronger, slightly more capable of handling dimensional energy. The Retribution didn't give us these powers. It awakened what was already inside us. Through the merged consciousness, they felt more ships awakening across the galaxy. Hidden bases activated, revealing vessels that had slept for millennia. Earth itself was transforming, ancient machines rising from deep beneath its surface. The Dominion leaders watched in awe as humanity revealed its full fleet. Not just 50 ships, but thousands. Each one crewed by humans who had just awakened to their true nature, their minds linked across space and time. The Void Ones think they have retreated. Lieutenant Roberts' thoughts echoed through the merge. But we can sense them gathering strength in their dimension. They will return. Let them come, Walker announced. The Retribution's hull shifted, revealing patterns that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once. Humanity is awake. We are what our ancestors designed us to be, the guardians of this reality. Engineer Pete's consciousness highlighted the scanned results from the dimensional breach. They'll attack through multiple points next time, trying to overwhelm us with numbers. Numbers mean nothing against what we have become, Walker responded. The merged consciousness of the fleet pulsed with agreement. Core, show them our final gift to the galaxy. The black ships moved in perfect synchronization. Energy flowed between them, creating a web of power that spread across the stars. Everywhere it touched, space itself became stronger, more resistant to dimensional breaches. We offer you a choice, Walker addressed the Dominion leaders. Stand with us as equals in the coming war, or step aside. The time for hiding is over. The Dominion's response was immediate. Their ships moved to join the human fleet, their crystalline technology complementing humanity's dimensional mastery. As the combined fleet prepared for the battles ahead, Walker felt the truth through the merged consciousness. Humanity had not just reclaimed its past, it had transcended it. They were no longer just the descendants of an ancient civilization. They had become something entirely new. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter as humanity took its place as guardians of reality. The Void Ones would return, but they would find no easy prey. Instead, they would face a humanity fully awakened, its power no longer hidden but blazing across the cosmos. The age of deception was over. The age of humanity had begun.